Aging designs from the likes of Cadillac and Lincoln going head-to-head with Japanese and German import luxury two-door cars meant that the domestic marques couldn't rely solely on their heritage to compete. Lincoln's dilemma? Attracting those who once rejected the brand whilst pleasing the existing owners. The "this is the way it's always been" mindset was gone. With the aging 10-year-old Mark VII finally being phased out, this sleek FN10 platform car looked like no other Lincoln ever offered in the company's history. Out with the old, in with the new, so to speak. Styling for the Mark VIII began in November of 1988 under the direction of Q Kim, called Stretch 1, and was finalized in only 4 weeks. Alright, first drive impression of the Mark VIII. I absolutely love the way this car drives. The ride characteristics are pretty firm yet smooth, and I love the way it handles. It's just an overall good driving car. Meet the Mark VIII. While this is a later 1995 model year car, the styling remains what was the initial 1993 model year. Our Evergreen Frost Clear Coat Mark VIII is heavily optioned model, and its when new pricing is shown to the left. This car carries the equally unique willow green leather interior, a color combo I wish would come back. The 90s. All Mark VIII cars were produced at the now defunct and turned into a Menards Wixom assembly plant, and was of unibody construction with high-strength steel roof, short long-arm suspension with four-corner computer-controlled air suspension, and front and rear stabilizer bars. The Mark VIII, as was all FN10 platform cars, is rear-wheel drive with power coming from the Ford InTech 4.6-liter dual overhead cam 32-valve V8 engine. This engine was the most powerful from Ford in decades at the time. That V8 is of aluminum block and head construction with tuned aluminum 16-runner manifold air induction with dual-stage port throttling and a 9.8:1 compression ratio. This engine creates 280 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, 285 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 RPM, 30% more than the Mustang 5-liter engine at that time. Despite its 3,768 pound curb weight, the Mark VIII was no slouch. Road and Track recorded 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.6 seconds, with 0 to 100 miles per hour in 19.1 seconds. The quarter mile was reached in 15.8 seconds at 93 miles per hour, with its top speed limited to 130 miles per hour due to the single-piece aluminum drive shaft. All Mark VIIIs featured an 18 US gallon fuel capacity and consumed 5.6 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 324 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 16 miles per gallon city, 23 miles per gallon highway, and 18 miles per gallon combined. The sole available transmission for the Mark VIII was an all-new electronically controlled 4-speed 4R70W automatic with overdrive and lock-up torque converter with a 3.8:1 axle ratio. Although this car looks like it is suffering a bad sunburn with its badly peeling clear coat paint, we will look past this cosmetic issue and just look at the ultra-sleek body, .33 coefficient of drag rating, and futuristic styling inside and out. The Lincoln Mark VIII still looks good even 25 years after it was introduced. Sadly, this is not the high-performance LSC model, so no fancy Luminarc headlamps and crazy cool full-width neon rear lighting, but how about that Continental-style bustle-back trunk lid? More than just the styling for below, this throwback styling cue also aided and improved aerodynamics. Alright, and looking around the rear is kind of where the Mark VIII is most identifiable. Very, very sleek back here. Very swept back in design. The tail lamps carry the same styling treatment as the headlamps actually, with that same thin chrome ring. Got a light bar that in the later cars would become a neon light. Just standard incandescent bulbs. You have a vestigial Continental hump back here on the trunk lid. Down below you do have the bright tip dual exhaust. The steering system is hydraulically assisted, vehicle speed sensitive, variable rate, rack and pinion with 2.6 turns lock to lock and a 37.2 foot turning radius. Wheels are the $845 optional 16-inch chrome directional 5-spoke aluminum wheels with P225/60 R16 tires, front and rear. Brakes are 4-wheel disc brakes with 11.5-inch vented rotors up front and 10-inch solid rotors in the rear. Brakes are assisted by 4-channel computer-controlled 4-wheel ABS and the $215 optional traction assist system that can halt the Mark VIII from 60 miles per hour to 0 in 109 feet. Alright, and looking around the front of the Mark VIII, the first generation Mark VIII that is, as you can see, pretty familiar Lincoln face. Sadly, this one isn't in the greatest of cosmetic shape. However, it is still very nice. You can see we have this nice chrome trim running across the front of the car. Got the small waterfall grille, low profile headlamps. Front end kind of reminds me of that of the 93 and up Crown Victoria. Alright, now this being a 1995, we don't have smart key access system here. We do have the keyless remote entry, pretty standard buttons, lock, unlock, panic, and your trunk release. The full set of original Lincoln keys. And of course, you have Ford's keypad entry, just a keyless keypad remote where you can enter in your personal code. Also has the illuminated entry here. The key lock cylinder actually illuminates. And inside, actually, for the year, the interior is in pretty nice shape. Absolutely amazing sweep around dash, very futuristic in style, because it is a 2-door, large opening doors. You just have black trim here. Does have the optional JBL audio system. Multi-function controls here, so you have your power locks, 3-driver memory, power mirrors. You've got your power windows here with auto one-touch down driver side, locking trunk release and your fuel door release, mat pocket, and soft touch materials. Illuminated entry here. A stainless steel strip for your entry. Driver and passenger seat are power. 8-way power adjust with adjustable lumbar support. Quick view of the controls on the dashboard here. You have your panel dim here, your auto lamp sensitivity, and your headlamp control. We've also got a leather wrapped tilt steering wheel. Alright, and let's take a look at these seats. Seats are very, very comfortable, very nice and supportive. Nice leather coverings on them. You have the silver stitched Lincoln Star. Your head restraints do tilt, as well as are height adjustable. Alright, let's pan through the interior and show more details. As you can see here, nice, fluid, easy to use, power assisted steering. Simple steering wheel controls. All you have are cruise controls. And that's it. You do have a multi-function control here for your wipers, high beams, and turn signals, hazard switch, pretty standard Ford gauges here, 7,000 RPM tach, 140 mile per hour speedometer, coolant temperature, and your fuel level. This vehicle at the time of this recording is 132,821 miles. There are some things on this car that don't work, unfortunately. One of them is an actually big one. Moving over the top of the dash, it is a soft touch dash. You do have a small little crack there. Pretty typical though of a older car. While the comprehensive trip computer and message center is non-functioning in this car, possibly due to a faulty fuse, the system in the Ford Explorer and Mercury Mountaineers are identical, so a brief demo from an Explorer Eddie Bauer is shown here as an example. As you can see from this demo, the message center tells you everything you could possibly want to know, from fuel economy, how many gallons of fuel have been consumed, to oil life and oil consumption, vehicle system status, and compass directions. You can even reset your oil change interval reminders. While this is commonplace today, remember that this car is 25 years old and such systems were considered luxuries. In fact, it was a Continental Mark V that the first vehicle computer display was offered as a digital display that showed miles to empty on an orange LCD display screen in 1978. That was a very expensive $125 option in the Designer Series cars, and standard equipment on the almost $25,000 Diamond Jubilee editions. Yes, it does have an oil light, but there's actually oil in it, so I'm not really sure what that is. Sadly, that's not working. Moving down, you have genuine burl walnut trim. You have a gold Lincoln Star here. AM/FM stereo cassette player. Down here, automatic temperature control, outside temperature, panel distribution here, on and automatic. Of course, you have your fan speed control here. Alright, and getting the shift lever out of the way so we can see some buttons. Traction control, rear defroster, and your cigar lighter. And of course, this center console sweeps driver oriented, sweeps down. You do have a couple of areas here that are kind of iffy here. They're old. Cup holder, ash receiver, which of course is removable. And inside, our falling apart center console lid is just a nice deep storage well. It's just seen some hard use over the years, but that's okay. Overall, the interior of this car is actually in really nice shape. It does have some issues, but I really like the interiors of these Mark VIIIs. I love the swooping dash. Very high tech, very futuristic style for the ear. Our mirror is automatic dimming. You've also got home link universal garage door opener, power sunroof controls. You've also got map lights. You have illuminated vanity mirrors, nice large sun visors. Sun visors swing out, but they do not have slide out extensions, but they do have this nice little party trick. A feature I think every car should have: dual sun visors. Alright, now let's take a look at the rear seat. We're going to go ahead and open the driver door again. One thing I like about these cars is rear seat entry is made easy. Tilt the seat forward. As you can see, it automatically moves forward to allow easy ingress and egress to the rear seats. And these rear seats, seat 3 across, they are a non-folding single seat back design. You do have outboard shoulder belts and middle seat lap belt, which was common back then. Ash receivers for the children. Rear seat reading lamps, rear seat coat hooks. As you can see, actually, the rear seat does have pretty decent room. You've also got a couple air vents here and a power point, 12-volt power point. And both rear seat backs do have their own map pockets. Alright, to gain access to the trunk, there are several ways you can do that. You can press this trunk release button here on the driver's side door panel. Again, that is lockable. You can also go old school, flip the Lincoln Star badge out of the way, put your trunk badge key in, open it that way. Or you can just hit the trunk button. Alright, let's take a look at the trunk of the Mark VIII. I found a surprise back here I wasn't expecting. Nice wide opening trunk. About waist height, lift over height, so kind of high. And it is actually pretty shallow too, so trunk space is not what it would have been on like the 70s Continentals, but that's okay. Compact spare tire, jack and tools. Overall, the trunk is pretty decent sized. This is what I did not expect to see here. A 10-disc CD changer. And it is actually a Ford unit, which is also pretty interesting. Was not expecting that. And here you have your controls for your fuel pump shutoff and air suspension. Alright, so that's basically the trunk of the Mark VIII. Go ahead and close that. Alright, that does conclude our in-depth review of the 1995 Lincoln Mark VIII. We hope you enjoyed the review. If you like this video and would like to see more like this, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews. And of course, Instagram at BrinsowJ1. As always, thanks for watching.